Good evening all, and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. It's Sunday night, which means it's trad beer night, and the beer we're going for tonight comes from Shepherd Neame by way of Sainsbury's. It's this one. It is their Taste of Difference Citrus Pale Ale, and as I say, it is brewed by Shepherd Neame for the Sainsbury's Taste of Difference range. It is described as a refreshing pale ale with a delicious smooth bitterness, orange citrus taste and aroma from the fragrant mandarina hops. It weighs in at 5% ABV, and with all that in mind, it bears an uncanny resemblance to a beer that currently sits in the Shepherd Neame lineup called New Dawn Citrus IPA, which I was not the biggest fan of because it was not particularly well executed. I'm hoping this isn't the same beer relabeled. Because that would be a shame. I hope it's a better execution of the idea over a pale ale base. Anyway, it says, this ale is brewed using mineral water drawn from the artesian well deep beneath the Shepherd Neame Brewery. It's heated and combined with crushed pale and crystal malts at the very start of the brewing process. The fuggles, always a good thing, mandarin and citra hops used produce a delicious bittersweet citrus orange flavour to this medium-bodied ale. It's refreshing, balanced and clean beer. Enjoy lightly chilled. Well, exactly what I've done. So it's about £2 a bottle in Sainsbury's, something like that. So without further ado, let's get it out into a glass and see what we think. I'm going to pour into my Lemmy glass. And the pour is pale. It's a good start. It's pale ale. I'm not going to go nuts. Get a bit of a head. Pour you up to the half pint line. Oh, that head's getting bigger. There we go. So, beer in a glass is ridiculously pale. There's a few inclusions in the beer. We call them floaters. That's your beer up close in the glass. Nice, pretty tight white head. Nice, small, consistent bubbles. Little bit of carbonation coming up from the bottom of the beer. Not a lot. So, the roll kind of makes it look like it's got a pretty reasonable body. But let's have a whiff before we check on that. It is subtly citrus. It is subtly orange. It's like an orange flower. Otherwise, it's really quite light on the nose. Yeah, super light on the aroma. Super light. But it is, like I say, a floral orange note. Maybe with just a hint of surfactants, a bit soapy. Yeah, light, floral, orangey, and just a tiny hint of soap. So it looks pale, smells slightly soapy, which is not a good thing for me. It kind of puts me off a little bit. Let's see what it tastes like. Cheers. Okay, soapiness doesn't translate to the flavour profile. That is a good thing. It is overwhelmingly orange. Lots and lots of orange. It's sweet at first. Orange comes through from that sweetness. Then you get into that slightly twiggy, ever so slightly bitter back end of the beer. The body is light to medium. It's a big orange hit. Not in the West Coast sticky orange kind of vibe. It's a really light, floral, delicate orange. I don't think it's the same New Dawn IPA. This has got more to it. This is much more orangey. The finish is clean, it's crisp, it's light, it's refreshing. There's no getting away from that. But I'm not sure. An interesting beer. But before I give it my score, we are going to go to the Untapped scoreboard of joy, which says there have been 496 check-ins and an average of 3.24 across the board. None from people I know. Yeah. Let's see, shall we? So we're going to go for the usual 5 pillars of judgment, namely the looks, the aroma, the body, the taste, and the finish. And if it does well enough, it can get some bonus points as well. Let's start with the looks, shall we? Let's just top it off. Let's see what we think. So we do have... there's no getting away from it. It's a pale ale. It's as pale as they come. It's super duper pale. I'd almost call it an extra pale ale. There are a few inclusions which aren't overly easy on the eye, but the head is okay. It's a nice tight white head. I prefer a little bit of colour and less inclusions, thank you, Shepherd Neame. So I'm going to give it the 0.75 on that one. The aroma, if you like orange and you like floral, you are absolutely going to love it. And if you like them light, it is subtle on the nose, but it's distinctly orange and distinctly floral with just a hint of surfactant, as I say. Yeah, it needs to be missing that soapiness and just upping the ante on the nose. Now, the nose does not translate into flavour strength because the nose is super light. But I'm going to give it a 0.5 because there are things I like. I like that floral note and I like the subtle sweet orange on the nose, but that soap has taken that down. The body, I can't fault. It's a nice body. It's light to medium, good carbonation, nice overall mouthfeel. It's not medium bodied overall, you know, it's a bit lighter than that. But yeah, I like it in terms of the body. I'm going to give it a point. As for the taste, it's a lot stronger than the nose. It's a lot stronger than the nose. Again, if you don't like orange, you are not going to like this. I like orange, but I prefer my orange in a beer a bit more bitter. And pale ales, for me, should have a little bit more bitterness to them. This is a really sweet one. It's sweet, it's clean, it fades into subtle bitterness on the back end of it. But, and it's a but, the orange is too much in this beer for me. It'd be a one and done for sure. I'm going to give it the half because, like I say, the orange is just a bit overpowering for me. The Fuggles is background hop. And the finish is clean, it's light, it's crisp, it's verging on lager-like on the back end, you know, that palate cleansing type thing. Can't fault that, really. I like the finish. It does good things, but for me, I like them bitter, hoppy and long. It is hoppy, but it's not very bitter and it's not very long. So again, I'm going to give it the 0.5, which means that's got 3.25 out of 5 from me, which is just ever so slightly above the average score on Untapped. So there we go. Wisdom of Crowds bears fruit on this one. So it can't have the full bonus because it didn't get a 5 out of 5. Value for money. If you like the profile or flavour profile of the beer, you could argue it's money well spent. It is a well-made beer. There's no getting away from that. But the flavour profile doesn't suit me. For me, it doesn't represent value for money. It's got to be a beer that I like, let's be honest. Would I buy it again? Sorry, Sainsbury's and Shepherd Neame. No, I wouldn't. So the Citrus Pale has got 3.25 out of 5 and no bonus points today, I'm afraid. So there we go. We win some, we lose some. Can't win them all. And this one, sadly, is not a winner. But here we go. We try these things. Sometimes we find winners, and today we have not. So there we go. Well, I'll drink the rest of it. You know, it's not going to go to waste, but it's definitely not one to buy again. But if you like orange beers, you will thoroughly enjoy this one. And we'll leave it there and say, that's been a beer. I've been me. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You got your like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And I'll see you again soon for another one. Bye for now.